Derek Overstreet, founder of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial planning firm. We have advisors standing by right now to take your call. 888-999-6370. The reason you're going to want to call is we're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. The way we do this is by putting together a step-by-step plan. So if you're one of those people listening and you'd like a plan in writing, give us a call at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370, or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Only one type of burger. For every pallet. Fries are extra. Large in size. We've got the shakes. Going over the brim.
Hey, this is Chris from JCW's. Put a positive, delicious spin on your day at any one of our 5 locations. In Lehigh, American Fork, Provo, South Jordan, or Harriman. JCW's, quality and a lot of it.
Hey! This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself, I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday to you. My heavens, happy Friday to you. It's a happy Friday to us, too. Hey, Annapolis, you doing all right? Everything good? I haven't seen this guy. Like, you know those people, there was a guy who did that marathon this week, and he did it. Did you hear about this guy who's in Sandy?
I did not.
Did a marathon running in one, like, circle inside of his, like, living room. And then he had to, like, switch directions so he didn't mess up his joints. I think he broke some sort of a record.
He ran 26.2 miles in his
inside of his living room. Alex Annapolis beat that today, going between the back studio and this main studio today.
We having technical issues?
No.
It's quite winded.
This guy's over here doing radio station gassers. No one's ever sweat on this floor like we just saw Annapolis get going.
He just came up with a creative way to get in shape.
That's good. It's good. Well, it has that small incline up here.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a ramp.
Yeah, it's an elevation change. That's what it is. You got to be ready for it. So, Annapolis already doing the Lord's work over here, hustling around, making sure you can hear all of your programming this weekend on the KSL Sports Zone. So there you go. JJ, everything good?
Oh, I'm great. Yeah. It's nice outside. It's a little cool today.
It is cooler. I'm
okay
with
that 80-degree weather, but I'm feeling good about that. It's almost April. It's spring. It's March Madness.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
There's a lot of reasons to be excited.
I know.
I used to be excited about the Mammoth, but now I am not.
Thanks, Harlan. Oh, you know what happened is you brought some cynicism about this Mammoth team and about March Madness, and now I hate both, I guess.
And I think the commissioner's ideas about the draft lottery are
they're bad too.
Perfect.
NBA sucks. The Mammoth currently are unwatchable at home, and I can't wrap my head around this March Madness tournament, especially because
it's boring.
The Houston Cougars were my champion, and now they are not. So I don't have anything to watch these tournament games for anymore. It's doesn't it have the weirdest vibe too? You're like, wow, Nebraska and Iowa, what a fun one.
Oh, wow. The quality of play is so high that they forgot to put a fifth player out on the floor in a clutch moment.
I had Houston winning the Natty. Okay. Maybe repeat that just for that. All
gotcha.
Right. I'm all right with that on a Friday for sure. Yeah, we've got
Arizona's just going to boat race everybody.
I hope so. I really do. I want
Houston
Tommy Lloyd.
deserve what they got. They couldn't make a bucket forever. What was it, like a 17-0 run?
Kelvin Sampson after the game basically gave like a speech like he was the bachelor he was giving a speech at a wedding. He's like, these guys, they don't have to remember me for the rest of their lives, these guys don't have to make me their lives, but they're my life. And I was like, geez, boys to men. I was like, and he's getting all choked up at the podium, and I was like, on the one hand, I love the sentiment, right? I mean,
sure.
A guy like Kelvin Sampson, how long has he coached ball at this level? I mean, 100 years, and he's a Hall of Famer, and he's as good of a dude as you could, from all accounts, as you could get. And so when he talks about these players, these guys, they get choked up about it, and I'm fine with it. The thing is that, I had Houston as my champion, and I don't know why that would be a bad pick, except for that, obviously, this is just a weird freaking tournament. I don't feel good about any of it right now. But
I'm trying to be interested. Like Texas, Purdue obviously had a nice ending. That was fun, but I mean, the Nebraska thing with 4 players on the floor. What was that?
No, my Fred Hoiberg, poor guy.
Houston can't hit the broadside of a barn. What was that? Like it's just, I thought the games were supposed to be better because there's no Cinderellas in it. They're supposed to be better games.
Well, we'll get into how bad the tournament's actually getting a little bit later, I guess. Let me ask you this:
Arizona the trophy right now.
We've got an England Uruguay friendly, international
Is that
friendly.
where we're at?
That's where we're at right now. I was not going to watch any tournament games right now. Well, obviously nothing's on officially right now until 5 something, whatever, 5:10.
Yeah.
But on top of it, the shine of the Major League Baseball season's already lost its luster.
Because it's day 2.
Mariners are 0-1. Okay.
Oh no.
Probably going to go 0-62.
How'd Big Dumper do day 1?
The thing is
What's
like
the Big Dumper count?
You can't
track the Big Dumper.
Oh.
How many home runs does the Big Dumper have?
I don't think he regrets that nickname, but he should.
It's not his fault. He didn't ask for it.
Yeah, opening day was a little bit of
if you gave yourself a nickname, then you're a weirdo.
This will be the only
people
time.
give you nicknames. That's what the whole point is.
The Angels are leading the AL West for probably first and only time that they're going to do this season. So there you go. Everybody else winless in American League West play. So there you go.
When
Rangers,
we get a team,
Mariners,
are we going to be in the
Athletics.
AL West? Is that where?
I think so.
Is that where the Utah whatevers is going to be?
The Utah whatevers. Who would they kick out? Couldn't be Vegas. Couldn't be. I mean, what do you do?
Well,
I guess the Rangers,
Houston and Texas are. They could probably move them somewhere.
I will say,
right?
okay. So for a guy who grew up, I went to a lot of Rangers games growing up. Went to a lot of Rangers games. Went to a lot of Mariners games. I was Texas till I was 14, and then after that, But I was told to be a Mariners fan when I was young. I just did it. The Rangers and the Astros do not care for one. They don't care about each other because the Astros were in the NL for a long time.
Right.
And so the Rangers and Astros don't have some bad blood. It's like the Texans and the Cowboys. Neither of them really think about each other, So for me, take the Rangers, put them in the AL Central, they'll be fine. You know what I mean?
So somebody had an idea. I'll throw it out there real quick.
Oh, you been talking about for a name for a Utah baseball name?
Realignment. Like where are they going to put? So just they need to put South divisions in Major League Baseball, just like the NFL.
Yeah.
And then if you have the 32 teams, then you have 8 divisions, 4 in each league, and in North, South, East, West. We just solved the world's problem here.
The South, huh?
And put that Utah team in the West with the Athletics, Angels, and your Mariners.
I don't hate that.
Big Dumper.
Yeah. I didn't see how Big Dumper did, but I noticed that they were losing. It was the ninth inning. They were down a couple runs to the Guardians, and I went, okay, well, I see how this is kind of going. It's fine. They lose game 1. The real problem with losing game 1 was they did it at home. I always hate that. You open with a loss at home. I always hate that, but it just was what it was. Big Dumper last night, 3 at bats, walked once, 4 official at bats. Walked one of those, and then the others, he's 0 for 3. 0 for 3 with a walk. So
hey, Aaron Judge started the year 0 for 4. It's all right.
He and Aaron Judge probably right there.
It's a long season.
Okay. Can we start the show officially? The reason I had this discussion, before we get into it, we've got soccer up on the screen, Naples. I think you should be excited about this.
I don't mind watching soccer, but I have to ask curiously, why is this game taking place
It's
right
kind
now?
of the only one. It's a friendly. Because I think all the World Cup
It's a friendly.
stuff, I know, but that's what I was going to ask you. All the World Cup, like the ones that
That's why I'm confused. There's a lot of stuff
the
going on right now, right?
The qualifiers are I think on a pause today. I think maybe tomorrow they're back at it. Is that right?
Yes.
There were a couple of matches that mattered yesterday. This one doesn't matter, obviously, but I was thinking about this. Why don't we have friendlies in every sport? I want friendlies in every sport because they're not actually that friendly, number one. And it's a great excuse to get really good teams together. Like these two teams are in the World Cup, right?
What sport would you play friendlies in?
See, but it's the preseason version of college football that we've been asking for. The one where we go, hey, let's get something going in the spring. Let's have a legit spring matchup, some friendlies between Ohio State and Washington. No, they're in the same conference. Ohio State and
Grand Valley State.
No, I don't want the FBS crap. Get a roster together. It doesn't have to be.
You can't do this.
Why not?
Because football's a violent game, number one.
All right.
Number two, guys are going to get hurt in a friendly.
Okay, mark this down for me.
Like football players get hurt.
They do.
Like soccer players go, oh,
right, but
my knee.
Oh boy.
Oh.
But they also. What was that?
Get the magic
Why did
spray.
you have to sound like the?
Oh, my knee.
Why? What is that? What character is that? I'm trying to figure out. Charlie.
Oh,
Charlie the Candy Mountain. Is that who that is?
Spray the magic spray on it. Football players
Right.
rip
They
stuff
do get
and
hurt.
break stuff.
Yeah, but college football players, if they played a friendly, first of all, you and I don't act like you and I wouldn't sell our souls to watch some decent football in spring, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, we're sickos. We're going to watch whatever you put in front of us.
So I'm just saying, international friendlies, not international friendlies, but just friendlies
College
across
football
other
friendlies
sports.
in spring
Yeah.
is what you want.
Yeah, just friendlies wherever we can sneak it in. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You say that like they do get, and guess what?
Just don't
These
want to
guys-
lose your starting quarterback for the year in a friendly.
Well, it's even worse because like they're playing for their national team and they're playing, but they don't. There's the expectation. Correct me if I'm wrong, Napolis. The expectation is not in these friendlies.
That guy's hurt.
He faked it. No, he's already up. The international.
He looked like he
the
got
friendlies,
shot.
The expectation is your superstars may or may not play, and you have to be okay with that. Like they do a handful of these, you got to be okay with if the superstar's not playing. And sometimes he does. Sometimes they don't. It's their national team has a kind of a thing to it. I don't know. The friendlies for me, nobody takes them too seriously, but there's still soccer matches that you're able to watch between two decent countries, right? There's big names out there for England and Uruguay, presumably. The McGuire guy's out there. He's a guy.
This window is the window that if the player is like on the fringe of making that World Cup roster, like this window is your last chance
See? And so
to
you have
show
a couple
up.
guys busting their butts. So there you go. Yeah. Luis Suarez still play for Uruguay, or is he 100? Yeah, he's not on that. He's not on that group.
We're only 2.5 months away from the start of the World Cup.
Hey, get your hot pre-World Cup Uruguay roster talk right here on the KSL Sports Zone. We're gonna.
We just gave you 10 minutes of it.
I know. I'm sorry. It was a slow start to it. So
And me making fun of soccer injuries. Sorry
all right,
about that.
let's start things off here, and I'm just going to get it all out of the way right now because the Utah Mammoth took the nice L last night. 7-4 was your final at Delta Center, and we wondered how this team was going to respond. And I was extremely excited about how they responded, JJ, when it was 3-1. And Dylan Gunther had 2 goals and Logan Cooley had 1. We had this discussion yesterday.
Where were those guys at?
Where are these
They
guys
need to
going to show
show
up? And those big names showed up. You had your leading scorer puts 2 goals in. You have Logan Cooley. He slaps one in. It's 3-1 at the end of the first. And I went, here we go. But the adjustments were made by the Capitals, and this Utah Mammoth team in period 2 looked like the Utah Mammoth team that lost the game against the Edmonton Oilers 5-2.
Almost felt exactly the same.
And they gave up 2 goals in that one. It was in the second period. It was 3-3, and it didn't feel great. And they lose this game, giving up another 4 goals in the final period of this one, and they lose 7-4 to the Washington Capitals with a hat trick from Ovechkin, just like you wanted, right? Gets his leg broken last time he was around here in Utah. And he puts 2 goals in then, too, by the way. And then he has himself a hat trick here. I think we can all agree that this Mammoth team is starting to scare the absolute, you-know-what, out of any fans that have any semblance of a desire for this team to be in the East Stanley Cup playoffs.
Just doesn't feel good right now. They're just not playing good hockey. And it's weird to go from how they played last week against the Stars and in Vegas and against the Kings. I gave him a mulligan for the Anaheim game. Second night of a back-to-back. You're going to have those moments. But what happened this week? What happened? It's just the urgency doesn't seem to be there. The players are talking about in the postgame trying to figure out, it's on us. We're searching for answers. And, we looked tired in the third period the other night. And then I don't even know what it was last night. These second periods have just been a nightmare. And it's starting to become a trend. Like, why can't you get stops in the second period? Why does the other team explode in the second period? It's frustrating. you've seen what this team is capable of, and that's why we're being hard on them, because I think that they play at a high level. The analytics tell you they play at a high level. You look at the standings, and we talk about goal differential and how important of a stat that is in determining just how good a team is. Their goal differential is pretty elite. It's down to plus 19. It was up in the 20s, high 20s a week ago.
Yeah.
It's down to plus 19, but that's still fourth best in the West. I mean, and outside of that, other than Edmonton, Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, and Utah are the only teams in the West with double-digit goal differential. The Oilers now have plus 5 after their last couple of games. Everybody else is negative. And the Mammoth are losing to these teams that have negative goal differential. Although the Capitals, by the way, have plus 12 goal differential. Like, they're a good team. I get that. They got good players. A lot of these guys were on a cup team a few years ago. Alex Ovechkin's a legend. I get it. But the way that went down last night just felt weird. I think it's not just the loss. It's how they lost, how they were up, how they allowed all those goals. Now you're starting to lose a little bit of confidence in the guys between the net. Like, there's a little bit of that. I mean, how often have we seen Andre Tourney pull goalies for the Mammoth? It's happened twice in a week. You never, ever see that. And it was warranted the last couple games.
Right.
So there's just a lot of things that just feel really concerning.
12 goals given up this week at home. 12
goals in 2 games? Like, this team had an identity, and defense was their strength. We've been waiting for the offense to catch up with the defense because you can count on the defense. That's why their goal differential is so good, but their record doesn't indicate it because they've lost close games. But now in the last week, you're seeing a big gap. Maybe it's just because we're not used to it, but it's just a little disconcerting with the Stanley Cup playoffs coming up. This team now has, 9 games left? And everybody else in the West has more than 9. Like Nashville, L.A., Winnipeg's even still in this race. They have a game in hand. Seattle, who won last night, who's back within 6 points of Utah, has 2 games in hand on Utah. San Jose's not dead yet. They have 3 games in hand on Utah. Utah's got to start winning some games. Like, this is slipping out of their hands, and we've seen it before in the NHL. You think you're feeling pretty good a couple weeks before. All of a sudden, these teams go on a run. It was the Predators that went on a run. They finally lost last night, but then the Kings and the Kraken all win last night. So just doesn't feel very good right now.
Well, we're going to have Bear Tourney later on in the program coming up at the 5 o'clock hour, crossing our fingers that the travel matches up to be able to talk to Bear. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, again, I didn't feel good about when they were like, well, there's still a 95% chance. Think about how different this World Cup. Think about how different this Stanley Cup cycle would be for this Mammoth team if they got the wild card one. Their first trip to the playoffs, they would likely be either 6s, or it would be that they would be favored against the teams they'd be facing in the Pacific. That's the way it was.
The Ducks currently have a 5-point lead with 10 games left on their schedule.
A 5-point lead in the Pacific
for that number 1 spot.
And so
that would be their opponent.
If that was their opponent, I bet you might see a slight edge to the Ducks just because they've played well against the Mammoth this year. But all these other teams in the Pacific, I mean, bar none, it's way better of a situation than you would get from playing the Avs. That's the bottom line. So you're talking about an experience of not just going to the playoffs for the first time when you're here, going to the playoffs for the first time and actually giving yourself a shot at a series win.
Remember what the Golden Knights did in their first playoff appearance? They made the Stanley Cup Finals. So you can do that.
Expectations are not that, but I'll tell you what they are is
that pairing, Alex, would give them a chance.
But we're not even talking about holding on to that. And I guarantee in the next couple of days, if things don't go their way, because what was the ice blue goggles, the mountain blue goggles that Jay Stevens was wearing yesterday? Yeah, they'll probably get 8 points these next 4 games.
8 points in the 4 games. Well, we've already lost 2 of those.
Ugh. So I'm saying now
Kings on the road,
and now we're talking about just hold on for the playoffs. Wouldn't that be fun if they played a couple of playoff games? Like, that's not good enough.
Well, they're playing the teams chasing them the next 2 games. If LA and Seattle get them, this gets pretty dark because then you got Edmonton again on Tuesday. Nashville comes in on Thursday. I know it will be the end of a long trip for them, but this could slip quick. You assume they beat Vancouver on Saturday, but I'm not assuming anything right now. Of course, I say all this, and the team could look like they did against the Stars on Saturday against the LA Kings. I don't know. I think they're trying to figure out why they're so inconsistent right now. It's strange to see the team look like a contender one game and then a pretender the next. It's just they're trying to find their consistency, and it's not a good time of year to try to find that.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We've got a couple pieces of sound that you can be able to hear from the two head coaches of the two Power 4 programs, two Big 12 programs in the state. Hear from Morgan Scally, hear from Kalani Sitake. They're two moments with the media this week. Stay right here with us. More to go around the corner. I'll also get you an update on that England-Uruguay friendly, just for fun. All right, stay with us. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA is heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Security program on spreadsheets, new regulations piling up, and audit dread? It's time for Vanta. Vanta automates security and compliance, brings evidence into one place, and cuts audit prep by 82%. Less manual work, clearer visibility, faster deals, zero chaos. Call it compliance or call it compliance. Get it? Join the 15,000 companies using Vanta to prove trust. Go to vanta.com/com.
Hey, Sal.
Hank, what's going on? We haven't worked a case in years.
I just bought my car at Carvana, and it was so easy. Too easy.
Think something's up?
You tell me. They got thousands of options. Found a great car at a great price. And it got delivered the next day.
It sounds like Carvana just makes it easy to buy your car, Hank.
Yeah, you're right. Case closed.
Buy your car today on Carvana. Delivery fees may apply.
Hi, this is Alex Kantrowitz. I'm the host of Big Technology Podcast, a longtime reporter and an on-air contributor to CNBC. And if you're like me, you're trying to figure out how artificial intelligence is changing the business world and our lives. So each week on Big Technology, I bring on key actors from companies building AI tech and outsiders trying to influence it, asking where this is all going. They come from places like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and plenty more. So if you want to be smart with your wallet, your career choices, in meetings with your colleagues, and at dinner parties, listen to Big Technology Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Your home for the best coverage of the Jazz, Utes, and Cougars is right here on The Zone. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I was this close. You know, you pay all this money for, baseball and whatever it is, whatever's in season, football, baseball. You and I both have, we pay comp fees, we pay rec fees all year long. Doesn't matter.
Don't get me started. We'll spend an hour talking about the problems with youth sports.
But I think I got my money's worth when we found out the Deacon's going to have a walk-up song for his.
What'd he choose?
He didn't get to choose. I got to.
Oh, you picked.
I wasn't going to be like.
What'd you pick
They
for
were
him?
like, we need it right now. Kenny Loggins reminded me. I thought of Danger Zone.
Highway to the Danger Zone.
But I thought I think maybe I will be the only one to get a kick out of it. Some 9-year-old walking up and he's like, "What the heck is this?"
It's Kenny Loggins, bro.
Who is
Log
this?
in.
I can't. Oh, that's right. The Danger Zone would have worked really, really well for the freaking Mammoth. But it also is inappropriate. Don't make those jokes.
They're definitely in the Danger Zone.
Please
right
don't.
now.
So I didn't pick Danger Zone for him. I did pick Notorious B.I.G.'s Big Papa.
Nice.
That's right up his
Edited
alley.
version?
Oh yeah, I had.
We
to
don't
say,
need swears at the
I
ballpark,
did have to say,
Alex.
look for the clean stuff. No, two kids have Bad Bunny. I mean, like, I'm not gonna.
Well, it's in Spanish, so nobody notices.
They're like,
except for some.
This is fun. I'm like, Mom, you have no idea what he's saying, and you don't want to know.
Mom's bobbing her head. I should
This
use
is
this
fun.
on my Instagram post.
Yeah. Oh.
Can we do a TikTok dance to this?
So I was like, look, I'm probably and I've gotten to the point now too that I'm like one of the older dads.
Oh yeah, you've crossed over.
Yeah.
I am older.
And so like I this isn't the youngest. This isn't my kid. Is not. People are like, oh, so Deacon, your oldest? I'm like, nah. I don't want to talk about this.
Not my first rodeo,
No,
bro.
I don't want to talk about this. So, yeah, he's going to have to do Big Papa.
Grizzled sports parent veteran.
Straight out of 1996, Deacon's going to be rocking to Big Papa. Okay. The locals doing their spring ball thing. BYU's officially hit the halfway mark. And, it's hard because you don't really – not a lot of video comes out of those. You can follow, like, their own social media. It's not like a video – it's not like it used to be, right? Got the hedges up. You got people saying.
I mean, we're at the point where we're not going to have spring games, so it's like,
Yeah, you might
just
have
bag spring and do OTAs
right.
like the NFL.
And at this point, I don't know what you're learning as a fan anyway. I don't think it matters. The only thing that gets people going is when Mitch Harper will go, "Did you see so and so was in a boot?" Like that.
Right.
That's the kind of stuff where we start to it moves the needle for
and
us.
that's what the coaches really don't want you to
And they
report
hate that stuff too. So. We haven't heard from the two coaches this week on our program, Kalani Sitake and Morgan Scalley, of course. Kalani in a very different spot. What year is this for Kalani? Is this 11? Going into the 11th season? Year 11 for Kalani as the head coach at BYU. Morgan Scalley, of course, his first go. These are two guys who know each other pretty darn well, but at the same time, they have very different spots that they're in right now in the movement of the needle of their career. And so Kalani Sitake, year 11, spring ball, halfway there. Here's what he said. Here's what Kalani had to say this week about the Cougs and their progress right now.
Really, really happy with what we're doing overall in all three phases. But obviously, a lot of the focus goes on to the offense and the defense. And Bears looking good. I thought Trayson did some really good things today, too. And saw some really good things from Enoch. So the quarterbacks are doing a great job. I like the O-line. Receivers have done a great job with tight ends and running backs. Overall, offensively, I'm really excited about the group. And then, the defense, I mean, the front, what K-Pop's doing as a coordinator and what we're doing as an overall staff with the D-line, linebackers, outside backers, inside backers, safeties, and corners. I mean, we're starting to really gel right now. And there's a lot of big plays on both sides. So it's kind of hard for me as a head coach to say, well, how's it going? It's like there's good and bad from both sides. And when you have such a highly competitive team, you're going to have some big plays on offense and some big plays on defense. And we saw some of that today. And I'm just really liking the progress overall of the team and the leadership in the group.
I'm glad you mentioned Enoch. Getting some working with Trayson and Bear, obviously, in the quarterback room. I asked A-Rod about this a couple weeks ago, and just to kind of get your take, can you notice sort of the difference in him coming in, not only early in spring ball, but being able to get a couple of extra reps during kind of the bowl practices and that sort of thing?
Yeah, you can definitely see just him being comfortable with the reps and with just the timing of it all. I mean, you have to remember, he just got home from his mission, and so, but having him do the extra practices in the bowl prep was actually really cool. And so I think that was really good for Enoch's progression and his development. And then even now, I mean, if you look at practice 1 to where we're at right now, he's improved quite a bit. And so it's very encouraging when you have players get better with the reps that you get them. And he's not making the same mistakes, which is a great indicator that you have a really good quarterback. And so, and I think all three of those guys have done an amazing job in spring camp so far.
As college football settles more into life with 105-man rosters, Kalani, how challenging is it to maybe achieve all your goals that you want in spring ball, knowing that the ultimate battles are in the fall and keeping just guys healthy with the 105 limitations?
Well, it's a little bit of there's a balance in I think you have to get into that gray area a little bit where you have to see some guys do it with some live stuff. I mean, we on the scrimmage at the stadium, it was mostly the live stuff was with the threes. So if guys are kind of brand new and never been tackled in that stadium or never tackled in that stadium, then that's what we want to see them do. And we saw enough from that. I don't think we needed to see anything from the 1s and 2s. And even during spring, I'm not sure how much we really need to see them go live. But everything, if you know the game up front, is live already. So when you talk to the old linemen, you talk to Keanu and the D linemen, they've been battling this whole time. So there's no such thing as thud or tag for them. Those guys are, it's all live. I mean, and so, I've been, with that being said, the big boys are doing a really good job. The skill, you just assume that guys will make tackles in space and things like that, but they've done it before. And with the new guys, we want to see if they could do it, and those guys did a pretty good job at it too. And so I'm just, overall, I think they're still talking to the sports science group, and we still have to figure it out. Where's the best balance of doing it all, and then. Because you get to fall camp, you don't want to just go live a bunch in fall camp. You got to get ready for the season too. So there's going to be us leaning heavily on the science part, and then every year it's got to be different because we have guys that really don't need to do as much. But I mean, you still need to get a little bit of the physical part of it.
K-Pop was the guy that you wanted as the DC. What's been your thoughts, 9 or 10 practices in now, just your thoughts on how he's operating as a defensive coordinator has been and what you hoped from him?
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that he was the next one in line. And even when Jay was here, my job was to prep and get the next one ready. So I spent a lot of time with K-Pop. That's why he was stood in front of the team quite a bit, and why I put him in a position to basically be able to see the entire team so he can evaluate who could possibly play on his side too. And then, I just really want him to be his own person, but at the same time, there's stuff that I think we're really, really good at. But I think his background, when you bring it all together, he's a guy that understands how to put this thing together. And I'm being honest, I've been really, really fired up about how he's doing it and he's actually, from my expectations, he's exceeded it so far. And we haven't played a game yet, but I think this is going to be a pretty good thing for us.
And just to follow up on that, Kalani, with the sorry, I lost my train of thought. You noted that you're trying to find the next defense coordinator even when Jay was here. Do you do that a little bit with the entire staff? Because you got now the assistant position coaches, the analysts, so where if there's ever a guy that leaves, you've got the next in line who's primed and ready to take over.
Yeah, and we have guys that have been here as GAs and analysts that have moved on and are coaching in other places. I just think that there's got to be a desire for these guys. I mean, if it was up to me, I wouldn't want to lose anybody. Just stay here the whole time. But I think when you aspire to be the guy who's calling the plays on defense, and then it'd be smart for K-Pop to think about himself as a head coach too. I mean, that's kind of the progression how it goes. I hope he stays here the whole time with me, when I'm the head coach. But I think it'd be foolish for me not to think that these guys could see themselves in a different position and possibly being the head guy sometime. I would be doing them no favors if I didn't put that out there for them to get after it. And so there's nothing wrong with wanting to do more. I just want them to be focused on what we're getting done here. The best thing K-Pop could do to be a head coach is be a great coordinator.
Did I notice another defensive intern showing up here? I thought I saw Isaiah Bagler coming off.
Yeah. So Isaiah's playing in the CFL, so he's, on his off time, he's coming here and training, and he likes being in the community, and he wants to learn more. And so I love having him around here. He has a great relationship with our guys, and so he comes in there and he's learning as much as he can. He's trying to understand the game. He's trying to increase his football IQ, and so he can be a coach easily. He's still playing. He's young. Become a coach when you get old like me and your body doesn't function well, So, but yeah, I love having those guys around, and it was good last week and seeing a bunch of the alumni come through, and we'll start seeing more of the older alumni come through there as they all start getting ready for the alumni game next week. None of them are working out until about tomorrow. Then they'll start stretching and getting ready for, hopefully not to pull anything next week when it's their time to shine.
You always get the vibe like Kalani wants his buddies to pull a hammy. His former alumni friends at the alumni games where it's like, yeah, those old guys will show up. They don't work out, and then they show up at the game, and then they pop an Achilles, and it's like he gets a little bit of a kick out of it. It is good. I mean, look, I'll tell you, those are things that Kalani's embraced really, really well over the past dozen years.
Wow,
10
nobody
years.
does it better, yeah.
Because
and that's how it should be.
And look, his successor, or his prior, the guy who his predecessor was not very good at it. And
not a strength.
And it was one of the things that people had a big, they weren't very happy about. So Kalani, he maintains that. But on the spring games, we've covered them I mean, we're just desperate for video. We're desperate for
We love football. That's
and of
all.
course, if there was a quarterback who could ever mount a late comeback and go into overtime during a spring game, Riley Nelson for Bronco Mendenhall, of course.
Yes.
In that, if you'll recall, I know you remember that game. It was super cold. It was disgusting on the field. It was slushy out, and the normal March weather we're used to.
Right.
So, what you get out of the spring games now, it's not ever going to be built for fans again. That's just, you have to accept it. It's never going to be built for fans again. And even Kalani going, yeah, we want guys to get into the stadium and tackle inside that stadium, feel what it feels like to tackle and catch a ball inside that stadium, and that's fine. The reality is that any semblance of some live reps for these guys, and it's going to end up being a good thing. We'll come back a little bit later and listen to Morgan Scalley, of course, and his now second full week in the with the Utes and their practices, and we'll see what Morgan said this week about this team and where they're at right now as well, coming up in a little while. In the meantime, we'll take a break. We'll come back. More to go. 97.5 EKSL Sports Zone.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA is heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Security program on spreadsheets, new regulations piling up, and audit dread? It's time for Vanta. Vanta automates security and compliance, brings evidence into one place, and cuts audit prep by 82%. Less manual work, clearer visibility, faster deals, zero chaos. Call it compliance or call it compliance. Get it? Join the 15,000 companies using Vanta to prove trust. Go to vanta.com/com.
Reggie, I just sold my car online.
Let's go, Grandpa. Wait, you did?
Yep, on Carvana. Just put in the license plate, answered a few questions, got an offer in minutes. Easier than setting up that new digital picture frame.
You don't say.
Yeah, they're even picking it up tomorrow. Talk about fast.
Wow, way to go. So, about that picture frame.
Forget about it. Until Carvana makes one, I'm not interested.
Car selling made easy. On Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Did you know fluoride is not available in Utah water systems? And fluoride supplements work best from 6 months to 16 years old. A healthy smile isn't just about teeth. It's about health and confidence. Your smile matters. Find resources at yoursmileutah.org. You deserve to feel better today. At Harper Clinic, patients report sleeping deeper, thinking clearer, and feeling stronger. Because mental health care is more than emotions. It's about your whole body. Work to lower your blood pressure, even boost your immune system. Get help to manage stress, focus, and reconnect. If you're facing anxiety, depression, or just feeling stuck, call Harper Clinic, 801-306-2345, 801-306-2345 to start feeling better.
Listen, everybody! Real-life hypotheticals to get your brain churning. As JJ and Alex ask, would you rather?
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 EKSL Sports Zone. End your career in the Sweet 16 or in, what bowl is even any decent anymore? Not, okay, the Independence Bowl. No, you mean the People's Champion or whatever it is? The People's National Champion? No. Or get blown out in the first round of the college football playoff at Oregon. You know?
No, it's Sweet 16. It's pretty special.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Do you know how many times BYU's been in the Sweet 16 in their entire history? That's 33 NCAA Tournament appearances?
I was thinking about it because, we have this discussion. We have this discussion all the time, and it's like it just is so hard to get there, right?
Yeah, it is.
Utah got there with Pirtle and
DeLon Wright.
And DeLon Wright.
Kyle Kuzma.
That was 2015. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, they lost to eventual national champion Duke.
But, like, that was like, hey, man, awesome. And then it's just really hard because then you see these other programs that you're like, oh, like, no one in a million years thought that Iowa is in the Elite Eight. Come on. You know what I mean? Feels weird.
They earned it.
I guess.
They made plays. And the end of that game was wild. Fred Hoiberg getting a lot of crap for only having 4 players on the court.
So you think going to the Elite Eight, okay, how about this? Winning a Sweet 16 game to go on to the Elite Eight or winning that first round of a college football playoff?
As a player or as a fan?
I'll just say for your school, the school.
College football playoff at this point. With the amount of money that's involved in it and the prestige. Ask Indiana about that. Suddenly, Indiana fans are all football, man. Serious.
I love it.
Think of how that has transformed that fan base. Because that's a massive, massive alumni, massive fan base. That's a juggernaut. Indiana is. And in football, it's always been a sleeping giant. And they woke it up.
But you think about it. Iowa is a football school, but this appearance in the Elite Eight for them is the biggest thing they've done for their athletic program in a long, long, long time.
Yeah.
Even though we think of Iowa as being a football school. I don't ever think of the Hawkeyes. They
produce tight ends and punters.
Yeah. Did you see that meme that went around last night? I think just for tradition's sake, this game should start with a ceremonial punt. They had a guy
That's funny.
that they photoshopped at mid-court in an Iowa uniform punting. I think this game should, obviously just to honor tradition, these two teams should start this thing off with a punt. All right, that makes sense. I think the Elite Eight is really, really special. But, yeah, if you get to the college football playoff and you win one, and you get to see that second weekend, you get to the, possibly get to the semifinals then. Because then that's the Elite Eight of the football part,
correct?
Right?
Yes.
So, all right. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We have more around the corner. Hey, our colleague Jake Scott going to be joining us around the corner here. We're going to talk some Utah Jazz. We'll talk a little bit about that Wizards game. Hopefully not very much. But the Jazz and Nuggets playing tonight, and you're going to see a lot more people in that lineup tonight. And you know what? You'll probably still see an L, and that's okay. But I'd like to see some of these names back in the lineup. And as we get down to the single digits of these games here, for the Utah Jazz, Jake will break it down here for us. Always gives us some good perspective. More to go around the corner, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Security program on spreadsheets, new regulations piling up, and audit dread? It's time for Vanta. Vanta automates security and compliance, brings evidence into one place, and cuts audit prep by 82%. Less manual work, clearer visibility, faster deals, zero chaos. Call it compliance, or call it compliance. Get it? Join the 15,000 companies using Vanta to prove trust. Go to vanta.com/calm.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Reggie, I just sold my car online.
Let's go, Grandpa. Wait, you did?
Yep, on Carvana. Just put in the license plate, answered a few questions, got an offer in minutes. Easier than setting up that new digital picture frame.
You don't say.
Yeah, they're even picking it up tomorrow. Talk about fast.
Wow, way to go. So, about that picture frame.
Forget about it. Until Carvana makes one, I'm not interested.
Car selling made easy. On
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Did you know dental pain is the top reason children miss school? Dental disease in children is almost entirely preventable. Good habits start early with brushing, regular dental visits, and fluoride protection. Your smile matters. Find resources at yoursmileutah.org.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
What time
time is it?
Your exclusive home of Utah Jazz basketball is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Resets Bailey right corner. Ace jabs right, goes right, drives to the rim, turns it back to the rim and packs it backwards. A reverse jump from Ace Bailey. And a fast break. Ace Bailey's out in front. Ace Bailey's going to finish that with a hammer and bring an ooh and an ah out of the crowd. Ace Bailey comes up from the left side, rises up on the reverse side with a one-hand, no-look reverse jam. Slam dunk contest material right there from Ace Bailey.
You're locked into JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It is JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. 73 games in the books for this Utah Jazz team. 9 more left, and it starts tonight as they go over the Wasatch back into the Rocky Mountains to the neighbors to the east, the Denver Nuggets. Hey, the injury report doesn't look nearly as dire as it has the last few weeks, and I think you could still probably anticipate that this team will put up quite an effort. You'll see a lot more names that we haven't seen in a lot, in these past weeks, but they'll probably still see an L. The Nuggets are steadily just like I think they're just like we're okay where we're at right now in the playoff race.
They're waiting for the playoffs to start.
They know where they're at, and they know what Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic can do.
Jamal Murray just dropped 53 points the other night.
They know what those guys can do in the playoffs, and so that it'll be.
They have a half-game advantage for home court against the Timberwolves in a first-round playoff series, which I am all about.
Right in the 4-5.
Oh, give me Nuggets Timberwolves in the first round. That sounds amazing.
So yeah, eliminating one of those two teams right off the bat is pretty crazy.
It is crazy.
Joining us right now on the program, he is Jake Scott of Jake and Ben fame, of course, every day 10 to noon, but also pre-half and post on this very set of airwaves. And so Jake joining us on the program and making us feel a little bit smarter about basketball things. Jake, what's going on, man?
Alex, Jeremiah, I don't know about smart, but we'll chop it up.
Okay, yeah. Right out of the gate, I was asking Ben about this yesterday, and it kind of fascinated me a little bit more as we got into it, because we're talking about the guys that could possibly stick around, and that's a hard thing to do. Like we as people on the radio and fans will do the same thing. We'll willy-nilly cut guys and be like, I liked what he did, but he's gone. And guys like Bryce Sensabaugh and Isaiah Collier, and you look at these guys and go, I don't know what that's going to look like with an insane lineup with that I think a lot of fans are anticipating and excited for next year. But Bryce Sensabaugh to me is one that I wonder what his future looks like. What do you think Bryce's future looks like as a guy who's put a couple of games of 40 points, been really effective scoring-wise, but where does he fit into the future of this Utah Jazz, do you think?
If he stays with the Jazz, I think he finds himself as a role guy. Bryce, the scoring capability is always there. It's kind of everything else, right? And if he's never going to be a plus defender, and I don't know if that's in his future, well, then he's going to have to settle into kind of a role. C.J. Miles, it's been cool. He's been kind of coming around every now and again, being on the Jazz broadcast TV, and he's dropped by and done some pregame shows with us on radio. And, that dude found a role. He was going to be an offensive guy. He was going to come in. He was going to make some shots. And, if you look at it, he stayed around the league forever, a decade plus. I mean, shoot, he didn't stop playing that long ago. So, I think Bryce shoots well enough, scores well enough. Lately he hasn't been, these last game he didn't shoot the three very well. But, I think he's proven that he's got that skill set. So now what role does he find? Is he, a 15, 20-minute-a-night bench guy? I think that's probably his future regardless of where he is. And I think there's that role to be had with the Jazz if they've seen what they've liked from him. But I don't know if Bryce is the type that's going to be more than that. I don't know if the Jazz need him to be more than that. But the NBA is always going to like a guy with size who can shoot, because you don't have to necessarily hide him on defense, even if they're not all defensive team caliber. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd love to see him as their bench scorer moving forward with this new and improved roster. That would excite me because you see the potential as a scorer, and you don't have to. You talked about the defensive part of that. You don't have to rely on that as much when you're facing second units, so it won't be as big of an issue. But he can certainly score as good as anybody in the league when he gets the opportunity. Since we're on that topic of young guys and their development, Isaiah Collier, what have you seen from him before this recent hamstring issue got him on the bench? Have you seen enough to feel good about him in a backup point guard role for this team, or do you see a higher ceiling for him moving forward?
Oh man, higher ceiling. That's an interesting question because like the shooting component is what's going to hold him back, and I know that's on the nose and everybody talks about it, but everybody talks about it because it's really true. And if you watch him on a nightly basis, you know how the other team just has to go under all the screens. It's an issue, you know. So if that gets turned around, Jeremiah, I guess to answer your question, like if he somehow became a high 30%, you know, in somewhere in there, 3-point shooter.
Wow.
I don't even think it has to be that high. Like if it ever got to like 36.
Yeah.
You know, or 37, I think, man, you're talking about a dude with an incredible ceiling because he does everything else so well, and he puts so much pressure on the opposing defense. And I do think he's got serviceable size, so he can be, you know, a good player on the defensive side. I mean, there's just so much to like about the guy. I mean, he's built like a dang barrel and has a ton of offensive capability. But as long as the other team doesn't, in the modern NBA, as long as the other team doesn't have to respect the shot, you're limited on what lineups you can play with, and it's unfortunately going to limit the role he can have. So, I mean, Collier's a tricky one because, I mean, I'm sure you guys do too. Like, I just love his dang game.
I like him a lot.
He's a bulldog,
Yeah.
right? He's a bulldog.
Yeah, sure.
And Jake, even if the shooting doesn't come along, like you say, if his shooting came along, where you mean that's a different conversation. But if it is what it is right now, I look at him as a point guard for this team moving forward, coming off the bench. That's about as good as you can get for a backup point guard in this league. That's really going to help this team win moving forward. If that's how this all works out.
Yeah, and the problem is, guys, is that you can't have. How many non-shooters can you have on the floor at the same time, right?
That's
fair.
fair.
You know, so it used to be 10 or 15 years ago. You got 3 non-shooters, and then it was 2, and now you can make an argument that it's down to 1. And I think he's proven that you can play with lineups that don't necessarily have 4 shooters or whatever the case may be. But it does limit you, right? It limits like how many of those guys can you play him with. So it's a little bit tricky, but could he be a backup point guard in a competitive team? I think so.
We're looking at this. Excuse me. We're looking at this lineup. Obviously, people look and they make the projected in their head of what a starting 5 and even maybe that 6th person off the bench would look like. Even, we do the thing where we project the possibility of draft picks and who could come and who might. And, these names, we start getting interested in all these guys who are in the tournament or guys who had great years in the college game. Great. Awesome. A couple of years down the line, this is going to be a super expensive deal for these guys to keep maintaining. How does 3 years down the line look when you're going to have to hit this, this situation where a ton of money is going to converge at one time and they're going to have to make some decisions?
Yeah, the NBA, I used to love this stuff so much, right? The projecting and this contract here and this contract there. It used to be like one of my favorite things to do. But in today's day and age in the NBA, it seems like the windows are just so dang small because the contracts are so much shorter. I mean, you guys remember the day and age of waiting out Andre Karoliko's contract, right? He signed that big 7-year thing, and everybody's like, "Oh man, when is this thing over?" And it just doesn't work that way. The max you can sign is 4, maybe 5 if you have your bird rights or whatever. So it makes these windows so much more delicate. But to your point, I mean, like if you've got right now, they've got 2. Basically max guys, right, in Lowry and Jaren Jackson Jr. And usually you can fit another big salary or split that big salary. And I think, Walker Kessler is going to command some dough. How much that is going to be, I think will be actually a really critical thing. But Keontae is going to have to get paid, right? And if Ace's trajectory goes well, he's going to have to get paid. And yes, they're going to have to make some difficult decisions in the future, just like Oklahoma City's had to do some similar things, and the Spurs will too. It's just kind of a fact. So I think if you're the Jazz, you're hoping that all these guys hit and they're all worthy of being paid. And yeah, you have to make some difficult decisions on who to keep and who to go, but it's better than the alternative, right? Where you don't have a player to pay, and so you pay the wrong guy. That's going to be tough, but I think it all depends on who really proves out to be the difference makers on the squad, right? Ben, if you listen to Ben thinks that Keontae has the ability to score, 29 points a game. I don't know if the Jazz would actually want him to do that, but if he's that important to winning, So the NBA is kind of in the world where let's make sure we've got the guys under our umbrella, and then you got to make sure you pay the right guys, but at the same time, I think that the Jaren Jackson Jr. thing made a move into win now, and then let's see what goes. I mean, I think they would love it if Ace Bailey turns out to be an All-NBA player, but they'll pay that tax bill when it comes, I think.
Let's talk about Ace. He's averaging 20 points per game over his last 10. He had a 37-point game and a 33-point game just over the last 8 days. What are you seeing from him as you're watching him closely that gets you excited about what his future looks like?
So I'll be honest with you guys. I think numbers are fake at this point for the Jazz.
Sure.
I think they've been pretty fake for a while now. Back to Bryce Sensabaugh, he's not going to get 20 shots tonight, right?
Right.
But Ace at some point might get 20 shots tonight in his development. So, I guess you can find that encouraging that he's capable of doing it. I like it that the balance on his shot looks a lot better. Coach Lacombe, my guy, has talked a lot about that. I think it's important that you hear from coaches that he's being coachable. But Will Hardy, I get the pleasure of listening to him for every post game, and he keeps going back to the defense and his defensive ability and his defensive games, and we've seen the blocks and that. But remember at the beginning of the year, he couldn't stop fouling on defense. He couldn't stay in front of his guy, and then he would foul, and it was just this crazy foul rate. And he's cleaned that right up. I think it's great. He's digging out boards. Have you guys been following his rebounding numbers? I mean, he's digging out 7-8 boards a night to go along with those scoring efforts. So I think all those are important because I think the Jazz want to play winning team basketball. I think that's through all of this stuff. I think that's the culture Will Hardy's trying to build. The play hard and pass thing, guys. That we've heard over and over again. I think that's ultimately what he wants, and I think Ace has shown the ability to be a team guy. Not be a selfish player, not come in and be like I'm a top 5 rookie, guys. Give me the ball. I mean, that doesn't seem to be his personality. I really like what I see from Ace Bailey, but I wasn't expecting him to be Cooper Flagg right out of the gate, and he had some setbacks with the illness and the injury and stuff, but God, we can all see it. He can get a shot wherever he wants on the floor. I mean, it's really impressive. As he hones it, if he is coachable, I mean, he's huge, he's long, he's athletic. I mean, he's all the things. We tried to talk Donovan Mitchell into being 6'7", and he just was never going to be that, right? And Ace is all of those things. The Jazz, they're huge. Years, guys. I've been covering Jazz teams that are undersized, saying somehow Bojan Bogdanovic is going to play like he's 7 feet tall. Like next year's team is going to be huge. Ace Bailey is going to be in theory, the starting 2.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Remember watching Mike Conley to try to defend guys, or even going back further, like somebody like Gordon Giracek, who was 6'4", maybe, and trying to be like, oh, okay, you can go out there and guard these giant wings and. They're going to be it's going to be a different Jazz team than we've seen, and with Ace, there's a room for a primary scorer in the lineup, I think, and if he developed into that, I think the Jazz would be thrilled.
I think with all the people wondering about what the draft could look like, and it's fun to kind of plug names in of the possibilities. It's also dangerous. It's also a dangerous game to get into. Is there a possibility if they do end up with that 1 pick, or maybe even number 2, or let's say that AJ DeBonsa finds his way to Utah somehow, would there be a possibility that Ace Bailey could be coming off the bench as a 6th man? Maybe not year 1, but I mean, maybe though, because AJ is so freaking good already.
Yes. I mean, there's a possibility of that. If the Jazz want to make the playoffs next year and make a run at it, I don't think they would want to start a rookie if they could help it. But then again, if you're picking top three, look at Con Knippel and what he's doing, and he was 4, right? So I guess you never know who you're going to get. I do think if we want to talk draft, I do think the Jazz are actually in the luxury of being able to pick the best player. Like you hear coaches talk about that a lot, right? Best player available. We'll take the best player available. But sometimes that's not the case. It's just not. I'll give you a Jazz example. When they were in the lottery and got the 5th pick and then had to trade up to get Darren Williams, right? Trade up to 3. And who were Ray the Buffet Felton was another point. Who was another point guard that year? There was one more. Oh, Chris Paul, obviously. Yep. And that was kind of the triumvirate of point guards. Well, everybody and their dog knew the Jazz were going to take a point guard. Everybody, because they had signed Carlos Arroyo the year before, and that dude flamed out, and they had to trade him. Raul Lopez was never going to be a guy. They had Carlos Boozer. They had the power forward part of Jerry's offense all set. They just needed a point guard. They were drafting for need. They were going to take a point guard. Honestly, the Jazz could take whatever. I mean, even if there were a big that they wanted to take, and I don't know where the best big on the board would go in this particular draft, but they could do that. I mean, that would put the heat on Walker Kessler a little bit. I mean, certainly an NBA team nowadays can never have enough talented wings, ever. If Keontae's had one heck of a season, I think he's really earned the bite at the apple at a starting point guard. But Keontae's, only had a couple of years doing it overall, and 1 year really doing it at a high level. So I mean, you can draft somebody anywhere and to push guys, and I think the Jazz actually have that rare luxury if they get a good pick that they can take really the best player who they think is the best player available.
I know you've followed the league for a long time as a fan and in the media, and you probably miss the Seattle Sonics like we do. Are you excited about expansion? Are you excited to see the Sonics back? Are you excited to see the league making this move?
I remember some of those old matchups against the Jazz and the Sonics and how annoying their fans were. So am I glad that their annoying fans are back? Not really. I never felt that for them in the first place.
Here's how annoying their fans are. Here's how annoying their fans are. Their fans are so freaking annoying that they allowed the team to go because they were like, I don't want to pay another tax just to keep a team here. I was like, you're going to rue this day, and they freaking did. But, yeah, that's how annoying they are.
They had a role in losing their franchise. Howard Schultz probably still is not that popular up there, but whatever. I don't care. I'm stoked they're going to Vegas. I love Vegas. I love the city. I think it's kind of Salt Lake's weird sister city in a way, and we have this kind of funny common history. And I love going to Las Vegas, and that town now having sports is kind of it's kind of a fun part of it. So I think it's cool the NBA is going to Vegas. Being so intimate with the gambling industry might be a little bit of a different story, but the city itself, I think it's cool. They're expanding, and man, the story of that is the expansion tax. Cow, $7 to $10 billion.
Isn't that crazy?
Holy cow, it's amazing. I mean, every team in the NBA is going to get a huge windfall from this thing, and I guess make up for the money they lost during the pandemic. That was always the story. But if the money's that big, hey, get another couple of franchises going. I don't know. We could talk about whether the league, from a talent standpoint, can take 2 more teams. I think that's kind of an interesting discussion. But I think they've been holding out on this a while. I think that those were always going to be the 2 more. We'll see. We'll see what the expansion draft process looks like. That's going to be pretty fascinating, too, how many players you can protect.
Yeah, especially once the Jazz get good. We don't want them taking any of the players.
Some dudes. Yeah, why not?
It's like, wait a minute. Why didn't we do this a couple years ago when they were taking?
Maybe that'll be the gift to them, too, that Lowry ends up getting picked up, and they go, oh, shoot, man, we're going to miss you. This solves the money problem for him right there in that moment. Jake Scott, he'll have the pre-half and post-game, of course, as he always does. The Jazz and the Nuggets tonight in Denver, and it all starts right here at 6 o'clock with the pregame. And then Jake and the coach will take you through that one, and, of course, the call with Booner and, of course, Locke all night right here. Jake, thanks for hanging out, man.
Thanks,
we appreciate
Jake.
it as usual.
Guys, it's always fun hanging out. Anytime. Thank you very much.
There you go. Jake Scott, everybody. Yeah, it was $7 billion. 5 to 7, is that what they say the buy-in's going to be?
Yeah.
The franchise fee?
Yep. Just the fee.
You know what you can get with that? 2 plus full Major League Baseball expansion teams in your because that's $2.5 billion, $2 to $2.5 billion on the buy-in for a new baseball franchise.
Yep, $7 to $10 billion per team is what the league is expecting.
Adam Silver, settle down, man. Oh no. All right, guess what? This is not the funnest type of breaking news we like to do, but every 4 to 7 years, we have to do breaking news that sounds very and eerily similar to times that we've had in the past. A rollover crash on Jupiter Island in Florida with the person at the driver's seat, one Tiger Woods. We have an update to his condition. Initially, people thought he might have been hurt. Instead, police hit the scene. And what do we have, JJ, from Jupiter Island, Florida?
Oh, boy. 15-time major champion Tiger Woods was arrested on suspicion of DUI on Friday after he was involved in a traffic wreck not far from his home in Jupiter Island, as Alex just said. The sheriff, John Budensic, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. He's not listening, though. He won't care. The sheriff said Woods was driving a Land Rover northbound on South Beach Road at high speed when he attempted to pass a truck hauling a pressure cleaner, which had slowed down to turn into a driveway. Woods' SUV swerved to avoid the truck, but clipped the back of the trailer. The Land Rover flipped on its side and slid down the road. Woods climbed out of the passenger's window to get out. Woods and the other driver were not injured by some miracle. The accident occurred around 2 p.m. Eastern, so this was not like a middle of the night thing. This was in the middle of the afternoon.
Like, our society is so funny. We want so bad for that guy to, like, be successful despite the fact
My
that
gosh,
he
there is
does
a
this
picture
periodically. Of the crash?
Of the crash.
Ooh, I gotta
the
see
SUV
this.
and Tiger is standing by a fire hydrant.
Look at this.
Like, what happened? That is a wild photo.
Everyone's like, oh, we don't know what Tiger's
But I feel
condition
like
is.
we've seen this photo before.
I know. They're like, we don't know what. Yeah, because this was the same thing. I mean, look. I mean, now the DUI wasn't there. It was initially people were like, do you think there was something going on? Because he rolled that Genesis down the hill in L.A. Remember that one?
Yes.
And then everybody remembers the video and the picture of him in that V-neck white shirt, looking like Timu Tiger Woods. Like you didn't even recognize the guy. And then the body cam video. By the way, RIP to the inboxes of the people making the grammar requests for the dash cam of the police people for the police footage of their conversation with Tiger. But do you remember the DUI, the alleged DUI, the first time around when they're trying to have him do the alphabet, and he was just like, "I'm not going to be able to do that very well." And they're like, "All right, why don't you go ahead and get in the car?" So
let me add this. This is more info. News. This is more info, and this is important.
Please don't say Charlie or somebody's in the car.
No. He was alone. The sheriff said Woods' breathalyzer test did not show any signs of alcohol. So it was not alcohol.
This is also
that was part of the deal.
Okay.
The sheriff deputy, the Budensic,
love that guy,
said that the DUI investigators believed at the scene that Woods wasn't impaired by alcohol. They believe it was some type of medication or drug.
So this was also the problem.
I think it's important to note that, not to excuse it, but it's important to note that.
But this was also the same conversation we had when he had the one where everybody saw him at that with the dash cam footage, with the back and forth of the police officer when he was pulled over driving what they and they also charged him with DUI then too. And they initially said the same thing. But we're not talking alcohol here. Obviously, it doesn't matter when you talk about being impaired by something. But man, bad news for Tiger. You know what I hate about this? We're going to have to hear the endless, like, oh, but he's back on the road to recovery. You know, he did get some steel pins put in his knee.
So is he going to golf in the Masters?
But see, that's what our stupidity is,
he
right?
Is he going to be back?
Okay. This is when you take a couple of years off. Like, you can't even go to the Champions Dinner, Tiger. You can't show up. So give it a rest for a minute. Get back in the public eye a little bit later. Don't ruin stuff for your kid. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we will. We've got more to talk about. So we've got tons to get into today. I know that we're gonna try to get into We're going to talk some NCAA tournament. We're also going to talk, we're going to hear that conversation that Morgan Scalley had with the media as well. You're going to hear that a little bit later. We're trying to see if we can get Bear Tourney. It's not looking great because I think the travel might not line up for our normal Friday conversation with the coach. But we will still talk Mammoth at some point as well again. Hey, this Wednesday is a Win Ticket Wednesday. On the KSL Sports Zone, what can you win? How about tickets to this one? Weezer with the Shins and Silver Sun pickup, and all at the Maverick Center, all in September. These are bands I listen to. I don't know why I screwed up that read. Like
Silver Sun pickups.
Silver Sun pickups.
It's good.
Also
bands.
also on the billing with the Shins and Weezer.
It's a good show. So
you can win those tickets next week, and I won't butcher the read as badly next time around. You know why? Because I'm going to make JJ do it. Stay here. More to go around the corner. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Hey, Sal.
Hank, what's going on? We haven't worked a case in years.
I just bought my car at Carvana, and it was so easy. Too easy.
Think something's up?
You tell me. They got thousands of options. Found a great car at a great price. And it got delivered the next day.
It sounds like Carvana just makes it easy to buy your car, Hank.
Yeah, you're right. Case closed.
Buy your car today on Carvana. Delivery fees may apply.
Every day, the world gets a little weirder and a lot more awesome. Cool Stuff Daily takes a look at everything from mining in space to the latest in the fight against cancer to how AI is, well, basically changing everything. It's all the cool stuff you didn't know you needed to know. Join us for Cool Stuff Daily as we take a quick look at science, tech, and the wait, what stories that make you sound way smarter at dinner. Subscribe to Cool Stuff Daily now, because the future's happening fast, and it's way too fun to miss.
Did you know dental pain is the top reason children miss school? Dental disease in children is almost entirely preventable. Good habits start early with brushing, regular dental visits, and fluoride protection. Your smile matters. Find resources at yoursmileutah.org.
Your home for the best coverage of the Jazz, Utes, and Cougars is right here on The Zone. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Here we go. Yeah.
We're a little off the rails today on this Friday. Napolis is about ready to walk out of the building. He's had it with both of us.
I do love coming up with all the Tiger Woods conspiracy theories, all the stuff that's going on. Of course, he arrested after a rollover crash in Jupiter Island, Florida. According to the police report, tried to pass a pressure washing truck. The pressure washing truck was turning. When they're turning, it's hard to pass them. Clipped the back, and the Range Rover that Woods was driving ended up on its side. And Tiger Woods ended up on the side of the road, and he also ended up in the eyes of the suspicion of the sheriffs there in Jupiter Island, Florida, who said, this guy's not right, and his breathalyzer's fine, but something ain't right in this dude's bloodstream, so they arrested him under the suspicion of DUI. So there you go.
What a day for the guy in the power washer truck. Woke up this morning, went about his business. He's just driving down the road, and all of a sudden that happens. And then he goes home to his wife, and his wife says, honey, how was your day? And he goes, hey, you wouldn't believe this.
No, he goes,
I got into a car accident with Tiger Woods.
Why were you an hour late? Why were you 2 hours late for dinner? Okay.
Or that.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me explain some things.
Who hasn't been in a car accident with Tiger Woods at this point?
So you know who Tiger Woods is, right? You watch the TGL, right, honey? All right. Hey, we just had the CBS Sports intro, of course, and we're about 30-ish minutes from the second half of the Elite Eight firing up. And I always love this weekend. It's really fun. And it's a ton of fun because you're going to go Elite Eight, and then tomorrow you're going to get your first set of the Elite Eight games that are going to get you your regional finals, of course, that will end in a Final Four. or 2 of the Final Four, and then Sunday the same thing. It's always a fun thing to be able to watch. JJ, the stat you threw out about how, this is the first time or only the second time in tournament history that at this point in the tournament with the Sweet 16 that there were no more mid-major programs. We don't call them G anything in basketball. We call them mid-major. All power programs, including Texas, who was the 11 seed, who almost freaking went on to the Elite Eight last night, by the way. Did you see Coach Painter coming off of the floor for Purdue, and he went into the tunnel and he goes, "Holy yes!" Like it was just a guy who had been through it, man. Like it was a great game. At least it was a good game.
That was the game, but the rest were.
Oh my gosh! So you had the Arizona Wildcats, who beat Arkansas by 20. They hung 100 note on these guys. What was it, 108-88? Is that what it ended up being? But more importantly, a crazy stat from this whole thing is now that 20-point loss made it the 20th 20-point loss in this tournament, which is now a record breaker at this point of the tournament, of any tournament ever. The most was like 10 years ago, and it was 19.
In 1999.
1999 through the whole tournament. They've already hit 20 now. 20-point losses.
What does that tell you?
It means that the theory that you had about March Madness maybe being dead, there might be a little bit more of a point to be made right there as well. And I don't know how you fix blowouts in an NCAA tournament. Does that mean the matchups, we just haven't picked the right people? The right teams didn't make it?
You can't blame the Cinderellas anymore. You can't blame it. Oh, well, it's when these teams pull off these weird upsets and then they get down to play these teams, that's when the real separation begins. Well, no, Arizona crushed Arkansas. Arkansas is a good basketball team. Arkansas won 28 games this year. There's a big gap still between Arizona and them. There's some bullies in college basketball. There's some programs that have more than everybody else. I was impressed by Illinois last night. Houston just didn't shoot the ball well. That was supposed to be a game. Purdue, Texas turned out to be great. Iowa, Nebraska was really competitive, but it'll be remembered for the bad thing that happened in the final minute, not the good things. How do you not have 5 guys on the floor and a key possession? How do you do that?
Fred Hoiberg took the blame for it. He said it was a miscommunication. I'm the head coach, so it's on me.
Remind me of Hoosiers. We'll play with 4.
My team's on the court.
My team's on the court. Okay, here we go.
It's your funeral, coach. All right.
Didn't work so well in March Madness, did it, Coach? But no, it's, I just think that it's not what it used to be. Now, you can get caught up in that a little bit too much, and it just may be circumstantial, but you start to see this tournament morphing into something different because of NIL. And I do understand and agree that there are teams that are able to, with their resources, go out and get the guys they want. So I think this is the first time we've had a Sweet 16 without North Carolina, Kansas. There's another team. Anyway, those blue bloods have kind of faded. The teams that have these resources have been able to step up.
But see, that's an argument for a lot of people where they go, well, there you go. The usual blue bloods aren't. They're not getting. They're not.
Yeah, but it's not because they're. It's because they don't have the cash. The teams with the money are winning. It's pay to play. Well, it's becoming pay to play. It's a professional basketball tournament. It's just changing. It's not that. And Purdue, Texas was. What did you enjoy watching that? I mean, it was a thrilling ending. It was a good basketball game. This is a pro tournament now. These are pros. These players are being paid a lot of money. And when you get to the Sweet 16 and there's no Cinderella, there's no mid-major team where they have guys that are playing that just are on scholarships, okay, spare me this idea that this is college basketball anymore, okay, right? This is not a bunch of guys on scholarship playing other guys that are just on scholarship. These are professional basketball players. Like just BYU itself had players from Europe and a guy from the G League on their roster. And they're not the only ones that do that. You look at Arizona's roster, and it's loaded. They got 2 top 10 picks potentially, Braden Burries and Koa Pete. And their best player is Jaden Bradley, who's a senior, he's a man. And these guys make money. And it's just not what it used to be. And maybe that's okay. I'm not saying it's bad, but don't tell me that March Madness is still magical in one shining moment. This has become a professional basketball tournament. And examples like that, where there's 20-point blowouts more than any other time, examples of there's only Power 4 teams in the Sweet 16, Cinderella's dead, just goes to show that the tournament has changed. You can argue good or bad. Depends on what you're looking for. I hear people say, well, the play's going to be better because all the best teams are in it. Were you blown away at the play of the Arizona-Arkansas game? Are you going to remember that and talk about that all week? You'll remember the ending of Purdue-Texas because that's what we tune in for, and you did get that out of one of the 4 games. But this was supposed to be better basketball. Was Houston-Illinois better basketball? Houston couldn't score. Houston scored 55 points. Okay, that's not better basketball. It's just pros. It's a professional basketball tournament now, and we need to accept that.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. Tonight's matchups in the NCAA tournament, just to refresh your memory, are none of the teams that I have winning the national championship. So back to you, JJ. No,
I still got Arizona. You got Arizona. We all picked Arizona.
Does it feel icky? Like because look, St. John's is a 5 seed. You don't look at St. John's as the 30-win 5 seed team to go, oh yeah, that's an upstart team. And also, they have the ghost of Rick Pitino coaching the team.
Yes.
Embalmed Dracula Rick Pitino coaching.
Not human.
So my question is can you root for the St. John's Red Storm? Like thinking to yourself that this team is that there's some kind of an underdog, so to speak. I mean,
they're 30-6, and they've got dudes. No.
Okay.
And they got one of the best coaches of all time. No.
Would you rather see a Michigan-Alabama Sweet 16 matchup or a Michigan-Alabama college football playoff
matchup by a mile? It's not even close.
Alabama basketball is decidedly better than Alabama football right now, isn't it?
Kind of weirdly, yes.
Yikes. So you've
but
got
Alabama basketball is really, really good, as BYU found out last year.
Real quickly, Johnny's and Duke tonight. That's your first game. Then Alabama, Michigan will tip off pretty closely after that. After the St. John's and Duke game gets over, you'll have really. I mean, this is a classic matchup right here, and I want Tom Izzo to win this game so bad. Michigan State, UConn, love that one. And then a game that you don't see a lot of. This is, the other ones were a bunch of names we see, well, except for St. John's, I guess. But Tennessee and Iowa State, your chance to move on to the Elite Eight from that one, as you have now still left only Iowa State and Arizona. Those are your only Big 12 teams still left in this one?
Yes, that's crazy. I didn't think it would be that case.
Sure.
But
yeah, we thought Houston would be still hanging on here. All right, we'll take a break.
The Big Ten's having a great tournament.
We'll come back. More to go around the corner. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA is heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Security program on spreadsheets, new regulations piling up, and audit dread? It's time for Vanta. Vanta automates security and compliance, brings evidence into one place, and cuts audit prep by 82%. Less manual work, clearer visibility, faster deals, zero chaos. Call it compliance or call it compliance. Get it? Join the 15,000 companies using Vanta to prove trust. Go to vanta.com/com.
Reggie, I just sold my car online.
Let's go, Grandpa. Wait, you did?
Yep, on Carvana. Just put in the license plate, answered a few questions, got an offer in minutes. Easier than setting up that new digital picture frame.
You don't say.
Yeah, they're even picking it up tomorrow. Talk about fast.
Wow, way to go. So, about that picture frame.
Forget about it. Until Carvana makes one, I'm not interested.
Car selling made easy. On Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Every day, the world gets a little weirder and a lot more awesome. Cool Stuff Daily takes a look at everything from mining in space to the latest in the fight against cancer to how AI is, well, basically changing everything. It's all the cool stuff you didn't know you needed to know. Join us for Cool Stuff Daily as we take a quick look at science, tech, and the wait, what stories that make you sound way smarter at dinner. Subscribe to Cool Stuff Daily now, because the future's happening fast, and it's way too fun to miss.
Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest name.
You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Appreciate you being on board with us on a Friday. It is a Friday. You got the other half of the Sweet 16 firing off tonight. You're going to get that coverage coming up at top of the hour here on Westwood One on the 1280 signal. And you can listen to that. We'll, of course, have Jazz coverage tonight coming up at 6 o'clock as well. And then you'll get the Jazz on 97.5. But we'll have that Westwood One coverage also as well. Hey, also want to remind you that the KSL Sports Zone and Beehive Meals are honoring people that impact the youth sports in your community. How does that happen? You nominate a youth sports volunteer with the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week program. KSLSports.com/contests. Got to make it plural. And then every Thursday, we read off those winners on our program, and Beehive Meals throws in $250. It is the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. JJ, I have a little top 10 in front of me.
All right.
Opening day of baseball this week, of course. We went through some of the top items at the concession stands across Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball does it really well. Minor League Baseball, at that point, it's basically a frat dare. When you go into these minor league baseball stadiums and they're like, we take 2 sausages, okay? Now listen where I'm going with this. You hollow out the 2 sausages, and then you're like, where are we going with this thing? And then it has some gimmicky name, all to be able to get you in the ballpark. The Major League Baseball parks just get you in there with some insane food.
Yes.
That all sounds phenomenal. I do have in front of me, though, a legit top 10 for you to participate. Alex Napolis can participate or not. I mean, I don't know if this is up his alley or not. I don't know if he's much of a baseball guy. Are you a baseball guy, Napolis? I don't know.
Not really.
Yeah, okay. Back to you. I have in front of me the highest selling Major League Baseball jerseys going into 2026. So these are, we've talked before about the historic names that have been the big names that have sold some jerseys. This one is 2026 specific.
Okay. Just in this year.
Like just in the 2025, 2020, like basically the very, very latest, like the top player jerseys right now being sold across Major League Baseball.
Okay.
Got 60 seconds. Don't overthink it. On your mark, get set, go.
Shohei Ohtani.
Ding.
Vlad Guerrero Jr. Mike Trout. Wow.
We're in a new era, brother.
Aaron Judge.
Ding.
Okay. Any young guys out there? Big Dumper. Cal Raleigh.
Ding.
All right.
The jersey's huge, by the way.
I'll just throw out somebody named Rodriguez. Did I win any on that one?
No, but
okay.
I definitely
tried.
went. My eyes scanned the list to be like, let me just check.
I tried.
Is Altuve so
Jose
up
Altuve.
there?
Okay.
It is a good guess. It's funny that Altuve is like old
Any
now.
more Dodgers? Did we get all the Dodgers?
You did not get all the Dodgers.
Oh, we got to get more Dodgers. Yeah. It wouldn't be Kershaw, would it? Oh, man. What Dodgers do we have left here?
Some.
There's Dodgers
Multiple.
on the list, plural.
Yes.
Multiple.
Tatis?
Fernando Tatis Jr.
No. I thought we were going, no, but.
Manny Machado. Okay.
Yamamoto?
Ding.
I should have went Japan. Dang it.
Oh.
I couldn't.
I should have went Japan. So what's interesting about Yamamoto and Ohtani, by the way, the Dodgers.
Schwarber, Bryce Harper.
No.
None
Isn't
of them.
that funny how,
Wow.
that's how crazy it's gotten. So Ohtani's 1, Yamamoto's 2.
That makes sense.
Yes. Aaron Judge 3, Cal Raleigh 4. You're going to kick yourself on this one, on 5 and 6. Mookie Betts.
Oh.
Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
My
still
mind,
guys.
for some reason, my mind was blanking on Dodgers.
Nolan Arenado. I don't blame you for not getting that Arizona Diamondback. Pete Alonso.
Arenado?
Now, of course,
Wait.
I know. Nolan Arenado.
Well, he was with the Cardinals. Is it a Cardinals jersey or is it the new Diamondbacks?
It's a Diamondbacks jersey now, I guess.
Okay.
Pete Alonso, who now is, of course, an Oriole.
He is a Baltimore Oriole.
He's on the list. Roman Anthony, Boston Red Sox. And then this is a name
there'd
that
be a
has been popping up more and more. He was on Team USA playing center field for a good chunk of the series. Pete Crow Armstrong.
That's right.
For the Chicago Cubs. Kike Hernandez, by the way, was 11. So you had out of the top 11.
A lot of Dodgers, and I whiffed on them.
The top 11, you had 5 Dodgers. So there you go.
Sorry, Dodger fans. Brain freeze today.
By the way, Shohei Ohtani has more than 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 combined. That's where his jersey sales are across the world. Bonkers, right?
Wow.
But not surprising. Yamamoto, too. That was awesome. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We have more on the program. When we return, let's get into a couple different things. One, we're going to talk about this Utah Jazz matchup against the Denver Nuggets. We'll get you ready for that one as well. And then I promise we're going to get to that Morgan Scally audio next hour as well. Oh, no, JJ. The camera crew's got there already? The Range Rover is still on its side. If I'm the sheriff, I'd keep it there. I don't know. I'd probably put some lucite around it. Make it like a...
It could be like the whale on 9th and 9th.
That's what I'm saying.
Just
Make
leave
it like
there.
Make it like a Banksy art gallery. All right. We'll take a break. More to go around the quarter. 97.5 BKSL Sports Zone.
Security program on spreadsheets, new regulations piling up, and audit dread? It's time for Vanta. Vanta automates security and compliance, brings evidence into one place, and cuts audit prep by 82%. Less manual work, clearer visibility, faster deals, zero chaos. Call it compliance or call it compliance. Get it? Join the 15,000 companies using Vanta to prove trust. Go to vanta.com/calm.
Carvana's so easy, just a click, and we've got ourselves a car. See?
So many cars. That's a click-tastic inventory.
And check out the financing options. Payments to fit our budget. I mean, that's...
Clickonomics 101.
Delivery to our door?
Just a hop, skip, and a click away.
And bought.
No better feeling than when everything just clicks. Buy your car today on Carvana. Delivery fees may apply.
Every day, the world gets a little weirder and a lot more awesome. Cool Stuff Daily takes a look at everything from mining in space to the latest in the fight against cancer to how AI is, well, basically changing everything. It's all the cool stuff you didn't know you needed to know. Join us for Cool Stuff Daily as we take a quick look at science, tech, and the wait, what stories that make you sound way smarter at dinner. Subscribe to Cool Stuff Daily now, because the future's happening fast, and it's way too fun to miss.
Did you know fluoride is not available in Utah water systems, and fluoride supplements work best from 6 months to 16 years old? A healthy smile isn't just about teeth, it's about health and confidence. Your smile matters. Find resources at yoursmileutah.org.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
You know what's coming.
Your daily deep dive into everything Utah Jazz. It's time! All season long and even in the off season. It's Jazz Daily with JJ and Alex on your exclusive home of Utah Jazz basketball. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. The Utah Jazz tonight against the Denver Nuggets. You're going to be able to get the pregame at 6 o'clock right here on your dial. By the way, over on 1280, we have fired up the coverage courtesy of Westwood One of your NCAA second half of the Sweet 16, the regional semifinals, setting up for the rest of the Final Four that will, of course, or the regional finals that will fire off tomorrow and Sunday. It's awesome. This is probably my favorite week of the weekend of the tournament. The actual Final Four itself is kind of fun. But when teams go from 16 down to the Final Four, because the Final Four is such an accomplishment.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have anything like that in maybe winning a pennant to go to the World Series, but nobody talks about that anymore.
Not in modern day.
But Final Four appearances are as big of a deal because you are a quote-unquote regional champ, but no one cares about that part because you'll be like Houston, you'll be like the Eastern region champ, and you go, okay, well, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. But there's nothing like that, I don't think, in sports, right? Where they go, you have gotten so close to greatness, we're going to honor that accomplishment of getting to the Final Four even. It's not something that we don't do it in other sports, I don't think.
No, because, I mean, it's the only sport where you call it the Final Four. Every sport has a Final Four. It's the only sport where you call it the Final Four.
You hang a banner for the Final Four, and it is legit.
Yeah.
It's
hard to get
phenomenal.
there. It's very difficult to get there. And it's celebrated in a much different way than, say, reaching a conference finals in the NBA, which is the same thing. When you're in the conference finals in the NBA, you are in the Final Four of the NBA, but that's not a tournament where you're one and done, or you win and go home. You play 7-game series in that sport, and most other sports are that way. What other sport other than the NCAA tournament and the NFL playoffs and college football playoffs is it one game for all the marbles? That's why it's special.
Yeah,
that's why it's a big deal.
Well, let's kick off the hours we always do with the cut. We'll jump in right here. We've got some Utah Jazz versus the Denver Nuggets to talk. We've got, I think, an updated injury report list for the Jazz. So let's jump in right here. It's the Nuggets. It's the Jazz. Let's do it with the cut.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Trajan Wealth brings you this portion of the program, TRAJANwealth.com. That's Trajan Wealth for all your trusted local needs in retirement. This is the most recent, right, on the injury report, right? Collier out, Key out. Nurk still has the nose situation. Looks like Kyle Filipowski will be available though, despite dealing with whatever illness has been floating around the team. All right, so tonight, Nuggets, Jazz. How do you see this one go down over in Denver? And what do you – I mean, 9 games left. We're getting into the single digits, which I love.
Yeah.
To get this thing over with. And I know at this point we're just pulling teeth and going, come on, just get this thing over with. But what do you see tonight with this team? How does this one roll out? Coming off of a blowout loss to the worst team on planet Earth in NBA basketball.
Will the Jazz lose out? And – that's a legit question because if you look at the schedule, it's that challenging. I think that the Jazz, even if they rolled out like a Lauri Markkanen or a Keontae George at this point, would still have a hard time winning some of these games that they're going to face. This schedule for the Jazz is as tough as any in the league. So there's that. You're going to be seeing the Jazz against some of the best teams in the NBA. And the Jazz right now are 21-52 on the season. Pulling up the schedule here, and I'll just take you through some of the names that are on the schedule coming up. Starts tonight at Denver, the Nuggets. The Phoenix Suns are in the playoff race. The Cleveland Cavaliers with Sam Merrill and Donovan Mitchell are here on Monday. The Denver Nuggets are back here on Wednesday. Then they're at Houston to face Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets. Then they're in Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder. And then they go to New Orleans, which obviously is a big step down, but still the Pelicans are not trying to lose games. They don't care. They've already traded their pick. Memphis is kind of a downer, but the Lakers might have something to play for in that final game in L.A. on Sunday, April 12th, and that's it. That's all that's left of the season. There's only 3 home games left, Monday, Wednesday, and then Friday, April 10th. That's it. So this season is melting, and I know for a lot of you listening and you're out there, good riddance to this era of Jazz basketball. It sucked. It's been hard. It hasn't been fun for anybody involved, but the bonus is they have been able to stockpile a lot of young talent, and we've watched that talent develop, and then they made the move for Jaren Jackson Jr., and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. The future's bright, but we have to wait until next season for that. The offseason is going to be fun with a lottery pick, and they're doing everything right now to keep that lottery pick. So to answer your question, Alex, what am I looking for tonight? To continue to make sure that they keep that lottery pick. Lose tonight, and I don't care what the score is. You got to lose in Denver tonight, and they're really close. They got a chance to make the bottom 4, which would clinch the spot, and there would be no convey.
Bottom 4?
It's possible.
Hang a banner?
When you realize what's at stake, why not?
They roll out a banner. They should roll out a little mini banner for
worst record in franchise history.
It was just that loss to.
Sorry, that was last year.
Yeah, it was.
They've already passed that window.
The loss to the Wizards. You know, I have all those like awesome
great moments in Utah
I know they have all
Jazz
those pictures.
History.
They have all those pictures around the arena. John and Carl. Even Tag has the signature look, the flat top as he's grabbing a board underneath. They got a couple, and then you go, oh yeah, I remember this one, 2025. or 2026. Man, 30-point loss. We needed that one too. Man, they needed that one.
That loss to the Wizards helped them keep that pick from having to convey.
Speaking of bad
in
banners,
2026, and that pick became.
Somebody, please be somebody good. We're watching Cam Boozer right now go to work on.
Could be Cam Boozer
on St. John's as Duke has taken an early 6-4 lead on the Red Storm.
So maybe that's a conversation we need to have right now. Which of these picks, which are these guys that are at the top? And we're seeing a lot of them in the NCAA tournament. Kingston Flemings went home last night. Keaton Wagler was great for Illinois. Which of these young guys, if you start going down the line, okay, if the Jazz don't win the lottery and get number 1, or they don't get 2 or 3, at what point are you disappointed?
Yeah,
as you're looking at the list of talent on this draft, at what point do you go down the list and say, man, that we tanked for this?
I think picking 5, 6, 7 would be.
Do you want to do it? I got the list in front of me.
Even though the numbers put you. I mean the odds. I mean they have a 30% chance of being 1, 2, or 3. Right? Isn't that the number? If they're in the bottom 4. But the reality is, if they're number 4, they have a better chance of being like that 4, 5, or 6.
Unfortunately, even if they're the 4th, they could fall all the way to 8th in the lottery.
Right.
So you kind of cap it. Obviously, it has to be 8. So I can give you.
Give me 4, 5, 6, 7. Because I think that what's the general consensus on 4? I don't know who's been moving
4,
up on the
Caleb Wilson, North Carolina.
Okay.
I think the top 4 are pretty much locked in. So you want me to start at?
Yes, let's hear.
Let me start at 8.
Hayden Bansa.
Where do you want
number
me to start?
8. No, start at 1.
Okay, so number 1, AJ DeBonsa. Obviously, Jazz fans would be thrilled. If you win the lottery, you get AJ DeBonsa. All right, let's say you move up to number 2. You don't quite get number 1. You miss on AJ DeBonsa. You miss on keeping AJ here in Utah for both his high school, college, and professional career. And you go to 2. Who are you taking at 2? If you get Darren Peterson, are you happy?
I would rather have Cam Boozer at 2 than I would Darren Peterson.
Really? Why?
Is that wrong?
Why would you make that pick?
I think just because of the size, and because and everybody goes, don't judge Darren Peterson on what's been going on. He's been going through these injuries, and I'm like, I will judge it on that because I feel like you might get some weird version of a guy who's going to do this in his career. The reason that AJ DeBonsa, I love watching Cam Boozer and AJ DeBonsa because those guys, and with Cam Boozer, you don't have like phenomenal stats every night. I think he had like 11 points against TCU, but they beat TCU by 27 or whatever it was, right? And he was like 11 and 9 and 4 assists and 3 blocks. And he's just, I would prefer him over Darren Peterson. But okay. I know that most people are kind of going Darren Peterson, Cam Boozer. They're not doing the...
Just be fun before we move on. I'll give you the comps for both guys, NBA comps, and I'll see if you change your mind. Cameron Boozer, Paulo Banchero. Darren Peterson, Kobe Bryant.
Oh, okay.
6'6", 205, shooting guard.
That's an insult to Kobe, right?
I'm just giving you his comp. I'm giving you the potential. I'm giving you the ceiling.
Like Kobe,
does that change your mind at all?
Kobe's foot fell off, and he got to
to help you
what's
possible line with these two players.
Yeah. I don't know if
Cameron Boozer is solid. He's a winner. Nobody wins like Cameron Boozer does, especially if they win the NCAA tournament this year. He's one of the most decorated high school players of all time in this country.
Yeah,
but he's not like an explosive, above the rim kind of guy.
Yeah, and he's not a 4.5. He's Banchero is what? More of a 3.4,
They built similar position, similar size, 6'9".
Yeah.
They're similar. That's why I threw out the comp.
Okay.
So we got to 2. So you take Boozer.
I don't accept Darren
I'll take
Peterson.
Darren Peterson. That's fine.
I won't accept Darren Peterson as a Kobe comp, though.
Right.
That's so stupid to me. Fine.
Okay. All right.
Fine.
Now, so I'll take Peterson at 2. You take him you take Boozer at 2.
Yeah.
So I'll take Cam Boozer at 3. Do you take Darren Peterson at 3?
I think so, because if you're a GM, you get fired if you don't take him at 3, right?
Okay. So you take Darren Peterson at 3.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay.
So if you're the Jazz and you're number 4, are you happy with Caleb Wilson?
Is Caleb Wilson the best player available, or?
Yes.
Then that's it.
6'10", 215, power forward center, and the dude can fly.
What was he? What are his numbers?
6'10", 215.
I like it.
Yeah.
So
versatile, too, for his size.
So I
Very
think
athletic.
Anything before anything before 7 or 8, maybe.
Sure. Let me keep going.
Okay, let me hear.
Okay, if the Jazz stay where they're at right now at number 5, Kingston Fleming.
I liked
Kingston Fleming.
We got to see Flemings a bunch with Houston, and I think you're getting as hard of a worker. Is he 6'4", 6'5"?
6'4", 185, point guard.
Yeah, and I bet he's really like 6'2" and a quarter. You know what I mean? We'll see when the combine numbers, the NBA combine numbers come out. They've been better about not lying to us about height, but, I think Ace Bailey also, he was 6'10" at this point last year.
Are you disappointed if you get Kingston Flemings at 5, if you're a Jazz fan?
Or
would you take Darius Acuff?
Acuff is not
similar player. He's big. He's 6'2", 190. He's a little bit shorter, but he's a little bit stronger.
He's a scorer, but what's the big knock on Acuff? No defense.
Okay.
Which is a terrible start in the NBA. Flemings, you and I have both looked at that guy and go, that guy freaking hustles, man. He's a dog.
Yeah, okay.
So he can score, but I think he's going to be an elite defender, which I think, that's the Kelvin Sampson in him that he learned in college, was to be that defensive dog, and he was. I think he's an absolute bulldog in that sense. I would take Flemings before Acuff for sure.
Okay.
But I would take Acuff too, because you're going to get you're going to eventually get out of Acuff 21 points a game in the NBA.
Well, if you fall to 6, you're probably getting Darius Acuff, which is an elite college player that scored a lot of points.
He'll score a lot, yeah.
If you fall to 7, you got a shot at Mikel Brown out of Louisville.
See, now we start falling
6'5",
off.
180 point. Again, a point guard. You've got Keontae George.
Yes.
You already have Keontae George. You have a really, really good backup point guard in Isaiah Collier.
See, that's why I don't know.
If you're a Jazz fan, are you disappointed that the lottery affords you these point guards? Because the list continues at point guard.
Yeah.
It's a deep point guard draft. And it continues at number 8. If the Jazz fell to number 8, which is the bottom that they could fall and still keep their pick, Keaton Wagler of Illinois on this list.
And I don't think people.
I would take Wagler ahead of Michael Brown.
The good news is we get the shiny things that we get to see during the tournament are guys like him who are continuing to play and are now into the Elite 8, and then they beat Houston, and then you kind of go, hey, those guys are going to go up on the list. That's the way it is. Acuff was not a number 6 pick in the draft until the last 4 weeks.
Correct.
Right?
No, in the last
3
month
weeks.
for sure.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
So that's how the draft works. We get high on that person who catches our eye right now because the ratings during the NCAA tournament are huge.
Can I throw out some honorable mentions, because the list keeps going of really, really elite players that aren't even in the top 8. This is number 9. Braden Burries of Arizona is not 9th on this list. Another point guard, 6'4", 205.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. I was wondering how big it was. The only thing about Acuff for me is you think about the length that the Jazz are now going to become. It almost feels like a guy who's 6'2" isn't what they're looking for, like at any spot. You know what I mean?
He could be Donovan Mitchell.
Could be.
He could be Donovan Mitchell.
Does he wear a size 16 shoe?
He might.
Yeah.
I haven't shaken his hand. Milwaukee at number 10. So that's where they are in this list I have as far as where the teams are currently with their record. But at number 10, Yaxel Landenborg is a Naismith Player of the Year nominee, finalist for Michigan, and he might be on a team that wins a national championship.
Who are the 4, by the way? I know AJ, him.
AJ, Landenborg.
It's got to be Cam Boozer.
Acuff.
And
Boozer.
Those are the 4.
Those are the 4.
That's pretty cool.
It is. And the list keeps going here. LeBaron Philon with Alabama is on this list. Chris Sinak of Houston. Nate Amen of Tennessee.
Do you think
they got him on 14 on this list? These are really good players that are available in the lottery at the back of the lottery. And you're thinking, why is everybody tanking? Well, because if you can get Yaxel Landenborg at 10, you're going to take.
We are a week removed from this, but so Cam Boozer's like the favorite in the sports books for the Wooden Award and for the Naismith Award. I don't know if it's changed at all. I can't see the Bansa getting shut out of both of those. Do you?
Yeah.
Really?
Cam's going to sweep the Player of the Year awards because Duke was so good and he was so good.
He was good, but like AJ was on a different
numbers are similar,
planet.
but Cam Boozer had more team success relative to.
That's true. Got to be a winner. Got to be a winner. It's the same way they do it with everything.
It does matter. Winning matters. Like Jaden Bradley won Player of the Year in the Big 12. Was Is Jaden Bradley better than A.J. DeBonsa?
Right.
Of course not. But he was a dog, and Arizona was the best team, and he was technically the best player on that team, so he won the award.
We'll come back and take a break right now. Duke down their first time that they're now trailing to St. John's in this one after a 12-2 run by the Johnnies, 16-13 in the first half between Duke and St. John's. Duke down 3 against the 5th-seeded St. John's Red Storm. Okay, we'll take a break. We'll come back. More to go, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA is heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Hey, Sal.
Hank, what's going on? We haven't worked a case in years.
I just bought my car at Carvana, and it was so easy. Too easy.
Think something's up?
You tell me. They got thousands of options. Found a great car at a great price. And it got delivered the next day.
It sounds like Carvana just makes it easy to buy your car, Hank.
Yeah, you're right. Case closed.
Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
Use math to make the world a better place. Become an actuary through the Society of Actuaries and find solutions to the world's most pressing challenges. As an actuary, the only thing higher than the pay is the satisfaction.
Did you know dental pain is the top reason children miss school? Dental disease in children is almost entirely preventable. Good habits start early with brushing, regular dental visits, and fluoride protection. Your smile matters. Find resources at yoursmileutah.org.
Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, 5:33. Hope you're enjoying your drive home on this Friday or your last few minutes of work or hanging out at your home, getting your weekend started. We thank you for joining us each and every day here on the program. Alex has stepped away. He's got some baseball to watch. It is baseball season, youth baseball underway, and so that's a fun time of year. We both have boys playing, so it's fun to get out to the games. So he's headed to one right now, and we're going to head up to the Hill. I want to hear from Morgan Scally. And we heard from Kalani Sitake earlier in the show from Provo for spring football. I don't know that there's many glaring question marks or like wow or what's about BYU right now at spring football other than who are some of the receivers that are going to step up and, maybe there's a couple position battles and things like that or, there's a couple spots they got to replace. Like obviously Cade Uluwavi stepping in for Jack Kelly, but Cade Uluwavi is an established star already. So there's really not any mystery with that. So my point is there's not a lot of mystery in Provo right now. We know who BYU is. We know who their quarterback is. We know who their stars are. Now, at Utah, there isn't a lot of question marks. We know who their quarterbacks are, plural. They got 2 who are really, really good. A lot of new faces, Braden Pagan, who we've heard from this week, and others that could play a big role in that offense moving forward. The Utes have to figure out who their starters are on the offensive line. They got to replace all 5 starters on one of, if not the best offensive line in school history. And that's saying a lot because Utah's produced some really good offensive lines over the years. They're going to have 2 first-round picks from that offensive line, most likely. Caleb Lomu's stock is rising. He should be taken in the first round on day 1 of the NFL draft that's coming up soon. So those are some question marks for Utah. I think the defense is pretty solid. But I think the biggest question mark or the biggest thing that people are wondering about is what's different with Utah football now that Morgan Scally has taken over the program as a head coach. Obviously, he's not new to the program. So there's not a lot of mystery there either. But we haven't seen him in this capacity as a head coach, making all the decisions, because Kyle Whittingham was very hands-on and in control of every little bit of that program, as he should have been. Now Morgan Scally is in charge of that program. Are things different? What's the approach? Let's hear from Morgan Scally on what things are like as the head coach for this Utah football program, his first spring as the head guy.
Really good day, first day of tackling. So again, once you put the pads on, guys can take great angles and act courageous when they have no pads on. But all of a sudden you get pads on and those angles change a little bit sometimes for those that are a little bit cautious. But I was very pleased not only with the tackling but how we're competing against each other. You can get situations like this where guys try and do too much, but I would say very good first day with pads on.
Morgan, is there any plans for like a spring game or anything of that nature this year?
No spring game. I wanted the extra practice. We've got enough new in the system that I really want to take advantage of that 15 practice, but we are going to open things up. We've already opened things up more to you guys and also going to do that to our fans a little bit. And obviously on the 18th, we're going to have a fan day so that they can meet the new players and there be engagement with our new guys and new staff. So we're doing all we can to play both sides, right?
How have you seen Bird progress just this spring? Obviously, he's still young. I'm sure you want him to develop, but what have you seen from him so far?
Athleticism has stayed the same. His arm strength. Again, what Greg Argus and those guys have done with him in the weight room, you can see that strength. You can see the progression with Gundy as his coach, just teach him, the high football IQ stuff is coming. As a freshman, there's a lot that you're having to handle, and a lot really is being told to you what to do, and now he's actually doing it himself.
How do you feel about your wide receiver room right now with a lot of these new additions?
Love it. That's a solid group right there. You guys have already seen already some of the plays that have been made, but it's always good to have competition because no one is taking it easy. Everyone's trying to show what they can do, and competition, we've got a lot of it in these position groups, so it's exciting to see.
You've also got a lot of cornerbacks that are new to the program. How would you assess kind of where they're at?
I would say guys need to step up on that. That's one of the position groups right now that we need guys to really step up. Scooby Davis is doing a heck of a job. Rock Caldwell at the nickel position is actually showing some really good stuff. I like the transfers that we have. I like their skill set. I like their mindset. We're just still, feeling things out. We're still learning the defense.
If there's one position group that has kind of maybe exceeded your expectations this early in camp, what would it be?
I would say offensive line. Jordan has done a heck of a job, him and Alex Gerke with that crew. That's one that, obviously you're replacing some dudes. And so when you put on the film, particularly when pads come on and you see some of the things that we saw yesterday, that was very pleasing. So we're excited for that group.
Braden Pagan, what does he bring to this wide receiver room, especially having played under McGibbon?
Experience, not only experience in the offense. And he understands what Coach McGibbon is asking of him. He also brings an aspect of leadership, which he was voted a leadership council. So that's one of those dudes that you wish you had 20 of them. I mean, he's such a good kid, smart football player, athletic, can jump out of the gym, so we're excited to have him.
New documents were released last week just about Kyle Whittingham's exit from the program. I'm just curious, did you know about him wanting to come back, and what's your relationship like with him now?
I have a great relationship with Kyle Whittingham, and honestly, I love him. I wish him and that program nothing but success, but my focus is on our program. There has been a lot of focus on, and I understand the why, but man, do we have an incredible team right here and an amazing opportunity, and I need to devote all my time and energy to those guys.
Morgan, with the tight end room, there seems to be a little bit of opportunity for some guys to get in and play. Who stood out early in the tight end room?
Noah Benny's doing some really good things. I would say probably a surprise right now is Kenai Lopes. Had his wisdom teeth taken out. So he's not able to say much, but he's showing some really good athleticism, and he did a good job in the weight room of putting on weight. That's something that we struggled with at the linebacker position with him, so he's finally catching on to what that's going to do for him, and I think you're going to see some good things out of him this year.
You've said that you've wanted this offense to be a little bit more pass-heavy than years past. Just how is Devin adapting to that, given last year's offense was so run-heavy?
Find me a quote where I said I wanted us to be more pass heavy. I want us to be efficient. I want us to be innovative, and I want us to stress the defense. And whatever that looks like, we've got some really good wide receivers, and so we're going to utilize them. We've also got some very, very physical football players. You take a look at the Rhino position with Sione and Semi, and if we're not taking advantage of those guys and running some power run game, then we got to do what's best for Utah football. And I have never said that I want it to be a pass happy. I want to dominate the line of scrimmage. I want to be innovative, and I want to stress defensive coordinators.
There you go, Morgan Scally from Spring Football. Let's be. He wanted to be clear on that. Utah's never going to be pass heavy. That's not Utah football. But he wants the offense to be efficient and innovative, and I like that. I think it's important to be innovative. I think it's important to be one step ahead of the competition that you're facing. The teams in college football, just look at what Indiana's doing with Curt Cignetti. They're innovative, right? They're doing things differently. And everyone's now following their model and what they're doing. Like, oh, what are they having? I'll have that. It's like you're at a restaurant and you see that dish across the way. Wow, they bring it out on the plate. They put it down on the table. Like, what is that? That looks good. I'll have some of that. Well, everybody wants what Indiana has right now. What is Utah going to do that's innovative? How does Utah stand out on offense? These are all questions that we can't wait to find out. What is Utah going to look like next fall? All those things that it develops right now in practice in spring as they're trying to do a lot of things. There's a lot of positive he talked about. Likes the wide receiver group, the offensive line standing out. I think it's not a surprise that Morgan is being hard on the cornerbacks and the defensive backs, him being a former defensive back. He expects more out of that group. Saying guys need to step up, I wouldn't be too concerned about that. I think they have some talent back there. Like he said, he likes the transfers, but they're still feeling things out there. So there's some spots of concern, but the thing that really stood out to me about what he talked about is he was asked which position group stood out. Offensive line. Didn't even hesitate. Now, I talked about it going into this segment. Like, they got to replace 5 guys on that offensive line, and this offense is going to be garbage if they don't have 5 guys that can get the job done up front. It doesn't matter who you have back there. You can give Wayshawn Parker the ball 50 times. If they can't move the pile, he ain't going to pick up any yards. And Wayshawn Parker's a proven talent. You've got these 2 quarterbacks back there, and the offensive line can't hold a block. Who cares? This offensive line's got to be good. And Jordan Gross has come in his first year as a offensive line coach. He gave credit to Alex Gerke as well. And what their group is putting on film is really impressive to Morgan Scally. So if you're a Utah fan, you're hearing that, hey, we're going to be all right in the trenches. We're going to be okay in the trenches. So that's got to be exciting for Utah football fans to hear that. Because I was just looking at through the roster, through what's happening with this program and some of the changes. And that's the first thing I thought. I was like, man, you lose 5 starters. You lose your offensive line coach, who did a great job recruiting as well. And look, Jordan Gross, there's question marks. Could you do this as a first-time college coach? His coaching up to this point was in high school. He did a great job of it up in Idaho. But again, you're talking about a multiple Pro Bowl, All-Pro offensive lineman and a Utah football legend who knows a lot of stuff. Now, that doesn't always translate. Just because you were a great NFL player doesn't make you a great football coach. It's completely different. But so far, Jordan Gross is proving that in this short period of time that he's doing a great job with that offensive line. If Morgan Scally says that's the group that's standing out, then that's a pretty good first impression for Jordan Gross as an offensive line coach, is having to replace that many guys and Morgan Scally not being concerned in the slightest. Morgan's worried about his cornerbacks. He's not worried about the offensive line. Utah fans, that is great news. Because everything else we talk about with the dynamic quarterback room, with Bert Ficklin and Devin Dampier and these new receivers coming in and the great backfield that they have right now with Wayshawn Parker, none of it matters if that offensive line isn't great. And at Utah, the standard is high, and it looks like this group coming in is going to match that standard, at least now in spring football. That's a positive development for Utah football and Utah fans that are really eager to see what this new era under Morgan Scalley is all about. So that's the latest with Utah Spring Football. You heard from Morgan Scalley. BYU fans, we heard earlier from Kalani Sitake. You can go back and hear that. His spring football media availability is the most recent one. If you can go back on the podcast, you can track that and find what Kalani Sitake said recently. So some good stuff happening in Provo as well. BYU and Utah both looking like top 25 programs going into 2026. College football is good in this state, and that's going to continue to be the case as both of these programs invest so much in their coaches and their players. We got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get you ready for the Utah Jazz taking on the Denver Nuggets. You're going to hear that game right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. I believe, Alex, correct me if I'm wrong, Westwood One coverage of the NCAA Tournament will continue on 1280 all evening. So you can hear, right now, you can hear Duke and St. John's. St. John's had a nice lead over Duke, and Duke has flipped that right now. Duke leads St. John's 30-26 with 5 minutes left in the first half. So that game is underway, and there will be 3 other games going on tonight as well. So you're going to hear Westwood One coverage on 1280. But if you want to hear the Jazz as the season is close to winding down, Jazz and Nuggets tonight right here on 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone, 97.5 FM coming up. The pregame show will be at 6 o'clock. We'll take you up to there as Tim Lacombe and Jake Scott take over for Jazz coverage coming up at 6 o'clock right here on this 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone on your dial. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get you ready for that game next on JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Security program on spreadsheets, new regulations piling up, and audit dread? It's time for Vanta. Vanta automates security and compliance, brings evidence into one place, and cuts audit prep by 82%. Less manual work, clearer visibility, faster deals, zero chaos. Call it compliance, or call it compliance. Get it? Join the 15,000 companies using Vanta to prove trust. Go to vanta.com/com.
Reggie, I just sold my car online.
Let's go, Grandpa. Wait, you did?
Yep, on Carvana. Just put in the license plate, answered a few questions, got an offer in minutes. Easier than setting up that new digital picture frame.
You don't say.
Yeah, they're even picking it up tomorrow. Talk about fast.
Wow, way to go. So, about that picture frame.
Forget about it. Until Carvana makes one, I'm not interested.
Car selling made easy. On
Carvana.
pickup fees may apply.
Every day, the world gets a little weirder and a lot more awesome. Cool Stuff Daily takes a look at everything from mining in space to the latest in the fight against cancer to how AI is, well, basically changing everything. It's all the cool stuff you didn't know you needed to know. Join us for Cool Stuff Daily as we take a quick look at science, tech, and the wait, what stories that make you sound way smarter at dinner. Subscribe to Cool Stuff Daily now, because the future's happening fast, and it's way too fun to miss.
Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest name.
You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We're going to give you a really quick March Madness update. The Sweet 16 underway again on Friday night action. We've got the Duke Blue Devils currently leading St. John's 35-31. Alabama and Michigan also underway. That one is early, 18-19 left to play first half. Alabama leads Michigan 3-2. You can hear Westwood One coverage of the NCAA Tournament on 1280 a.m. But on 97.5, you're going to hear the Jazz and the Nuggets right here on 97.5. We're going to turn things over to Jake Scott and the coach Tim Lacombe for pregame coverage for the Utah Jazz. They'll take you all the way up to game time And we're going to take a break here. For Alex Napolis, for Alex Kirry, I'm Jeremiah Jensen. Have a great weekend. We'll see you right back here, same time on Monday. So long, everybody.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.